Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to remove the caliper and do a pad slap on a 2003 Cadillac CTS. So first of all, you remove your wheel, and if you want to get to this point, watch my front tie rod video, and I'll show you how to take the wheel off and get to this point. So, for the brake caliper, you got a 13 millimeter bolt right here in the top. I've already broke it loose. So we'll just work that the rest of the way out, set it to the side. You've got another one down here on the bottom right here, which is already broke loose. We'll take this, set it to the side. Your caliper's free. Just like that. You should use a bungee cord or a coat hanger to secure it so it don't hang on the line, because you will ruin the soft line. And all I have to do now is pull these pads out of here. Right there in the front, there's another one in the back. Push these two pistons back in, which you can use a special tool or you can use a C-clamp. Loosen the top of your brake reservoir, put your C-clamp on one piston, push it in, and put it on the other piston and push it in. Simple. Now, to get the rotor and the wheel bearing off, we have to get this caliper bracket off of here. And to do that, there's two bolts, which I don't know how I'm going to be able to show it, but you can probably kind of see the back of it there, where my wrench is at. There's one at the bottom. You pull them two bolts, and this caliper bracket comes right off. Two 18 millimeter bolts later, there's your caliper bracket off. Now I need to pull the rotor, which will probably require some wax with the rubber mallet. I'll pull this rotor off of here, then we can look at the wheel bearing. I almost forgot about that little blankety blank. That's a T30. Okay, now I got that little Torx bolt out. I'm ready to pull my wheel bearing, which is right here. This is all part of the wheel bearing assembly. It's all one piece. If you listen, I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds kind of dry. Okay, to pull this wheel bearing, it's probably going to be hard for me to show you, but now right here, there's a bolt. There's another bolt down about in here, and they come out from the back side. And there's another one over, and these come out from the back side, back around here. So we'll get those out. Well, 3 bitchy bolts later, and this son of a bitch fell off and hit me in the leg. Here's your ABS sensor, your hub assembly. There's the bolts that hold it in, 18 millimeter. One of them was good and stuck, even though this is a South Carolina car. So, we're ready for the new one. Goes back in the same way the old one. Of course, the backing plate fell off too. It goes in this orientation here. Right here is your ABS sensor. It snaps into that little square hole. There's the car harness. There's the harness from the wheel bearing ABS sensor. So, time for a break. We'll start putting this thing back together. Okay, now smoke break is over. Back to work. Got the new wheel bearing lined up and in place. Got my 3 bolts started. Maybe if I get around back here, you can see them. Yeah, there's one. There's 2 up top there. There's a 3rd one back here. They're all good and started. Now keep in mind your wire for your ABS sensor comes out in this orientation. Runs up through here. And it clips on this little metal piece on your backing plate here. Get my fingers out of the shot. Still not used to this new phone completely. It's the first video I've done with it. Now you can see where that clips in and unplugs there. So now I just need to torque them 3 bolts down, and we will continue. Okay, now my 3 bolts are torqued down, so I'm ready to reinstall my rotor. So grab a rotor here. There we go. Be sure you have your little hole in here lined up for your Torx bolt. See it back there? Make sure that's lined up. Put your Torx bolt in it and torque it down. Now my little Torx bolt is back, torqued down. Now I'll have to get my C-clamp, push these 2 pistons back in, and we can throw the caliper back on. Okay, now here's your redneck method of pushing your pistons back in your caliper if you don't have the special tool. All this is a 4-inch C-clamp, and you can look in here and see how much further this bottom piston is sticking out than the top piston. I've already pushed this one. Now I've got to go down here and push this one. Also note, I cracked the top of my master cylinder loose before I started doing this. Okay, now I have my caliper bracket reinstalled. Takes 2 bolts right here and up here, if I can get it in the shot. Yep, that'll get it in the shot right there, them 2 bolts. Torque them down. I'm ready to slap my caliper back on. Okay, since I'm already into this thing, I'm going to go ahead and throw new pads on here. As you can see, that the old pads aren't that bad, but they're starting to wear. You can see the difference here. Here's an old one and a new one. So they're gone far enough I can justify replacing them. So all you have to do from here is just take them and line them up in your grooves back here. Slap them on there. And that'll do that. There you go. Brand new pads ready for the caliper. Now I'll swing it back down and set it on top and start the bolts for it. Okay, now my caliper's back on my new pads. Since I pushed in the pistons, it just fell right in place. If you don't push them pistons back in, you'll never get this back on. So I got to torque down my 2 bolts, which I have started here. Let me find it here. It is right here's the top one. The bottom one's down here. Yeah, you can see that. Let's torque them 2 bolts down. Tires ready to go back on. Okay, now tires back on, wheels back on the ground. Torque my lug nuts to about 95 to 100 foot-pounds, and this job is done. Hope you enjoyed my video. Hope I helped you out. Maybe save you some money. Thanks for watching. More to come later.